There are an abundance of crypto funds out there, and many of them aren't compliant with the Investment Company Act. And there are two main exemptions from the Investment Company Act, a 3C1 fund and a 3C7 fund. A 3C1 fund limits you to 100 owners, right? So think of 100 investors, or 99 if you're set up in a general partnership, because the general partner counts as one. And so you're exempt from registration up until and including the point where you hit 100 investors. And you can use 506, you can sell to non-accredited and other elements of Reg D, and you're exempt from registration. If you want to go over the 100 investor limit, then you're a 3C7 fund. And a 3C7 fund says you can go up to 2,000 investors, but those investors have to be qualified. And that qualified status is actually higher than accredited, right? So qualified purchasers must have at least 5 million in investments. Or if they're an entity, the entity must be owned by qualified purchasers. So you have the flexibility of having far more investors, but yet you have the threshold for obtaining those investors is much higher. So it's something to obviously consider when you're structuring your funds. Do you want to have one large fund that's a 3C7 but perhaps limits the pool of investors, or do you separate that and have multiple funds, right, to stay as a 3C1 fund and have different funds that are each themselves exempt under 3C1? But there's a multitude, I see them every day, multitude of crypto-related hedge funds, and people kind of ignore the Investment Company Act because they think that they don't necessarily qualify as one because they're doing crypto or what have you, but you do, because, irrespective of the whole debate and discussion on what exactly crypto is from a legal perspective, you're not selling crypto. What you're selling is a security, because you're selling a purchase interest, a unit interest in the fund, right? A limited partnership interest. So you're definitely within the ambit of the securities world. You're just the underlying assets may or may not be securities, but there's been hedge funds for everything from racehorses to cargo containers. So and those each were under the ambit or an exemption from the Investment Company Act. So that's my 2 cents. Adam Tracy, check me out. Tracy Firm, TRACY firm.com, at tracyfirm.com, and hope to hear from you. Thanks.